Hello again, everyone. Well, it's finally here. No need to delay anymore. It's time to start the Hidden Gems review series. Now, I know in my past videos I said I was going to probably do the Baten Kaito series first, but I just recently came across this game and it astounded me as to how well this game was and how deep it actually can be. This is the path for the PC. If Tale of Tales took the story of Little Red Riding Hood and made it demented and dark, what would they do to it? No, they wouldn't make it so you're slowly walking to Granny's house, thank God. No, they've actually made this an enjoyable experience. And from now on, I'm going to stop calling this a game and start calling it an experience. Because, like The Graveyard, it attempts to draw you to its characters and story, even though they don't speak, by having you experience what they experience. Which is a huge, huge improvement over The Graveyard. For one, you can actually feel connected to these characters. There will be at least one girl you play as in this game where you will just come right out and say, you know, I know how she feels. And yes, you play as different people in this one. You play as 6 different girls. Well, actually there's 7 if you actually manage to get through the experience. You'll unlock one more. Now, I'm going to come out and say right now, this is going to be a very, very hard one for me to review, because it's not really a game. And to try showing you what I mean, I'll bring up some footage for you. So here's the beginning of the path. You pick one of 6 different girls and are given one simple goal. Go to grandmother's house and stay on the path. Well, that's fine as long as I don't have to walk there antagonizingly slow. Hey, look, a run button. Now, if you follow your goal and get to grandma's house and stay on the path, you watch a brief little cinematic where the girl of your choice goes over to grandma and sits in the bed with her. It's a really beautiful scene, though, and it shows how much the girls care for their grandmother. I really Wait, a status screen? No items collected? Wolf encountered no? Failed? How did I fail? I stayed on the path just like it told me to. Well, that's the rule of the experience. As the title of the game says, there's one rule, and it needs to be broken. There's one goal, and to attain it, you die. So, you need to get off the path, breaking the one rule you're supposed to be following. Now, this is where the game gets interesting. One of the first things you'll probably notice is that once you're off the path, you are not going to find it again. What happened to it? Well, I figured since you so kindly decided to go against the only rule the game gives you, the path decided, you know what? Screw you two! You'll probably also notice the lack of a health meter or anything like that. There is a HUD that shows you where your character's wolf is, and if you decide to collect enough flowers, it'll show you where character-specific items are, along with locations you visited previously. It's a really nice system, and it's really there for the player's convenience, seeing as how when you play, you are going to get lost. The forest is huge, and there's just so much to explore and things to find. What really makes the game enjoyable, though, is that Tale of Tales implemented a system they call Drama Princess, where each of the characters respond differently to things they find. For example, say I take Robin out for a little walk and she finds a knife in the woods. She's going to remark on how sharp it is and bring up the old quote, you shouldn't run with sharp objects. You know, she's a little kid, she's going to bring up things that our parents teach us. However, when Ruby looks at it, she says, cut my veins, make me bleed. A valley or an ocean, desire or need. Well, as you can see, you know what I mean by differently now. But that's what makes the path's characters very likable. The characters develop, and you keep learning that they actually have stories, even if it isn't thrown into your face like in other games. It leaves you to your own imagination to find out what happens to every girl at the end, and what their past might have been like. And it's very rewarding to put all those pieces together. Now, one of the many complaints I hear about this game is that there's no story. There's plenty of story in this game. Use that thing called your brain and figure it out. Not all games are about beefy guys running around, shooting everything in sight, and having every objective spoon-fed to you. Some games are different, and some of us like it that way. There are also wolves for each girl to encounter. The wolves aren't technically wolves, although for Robins, I kinda have to wonder. The wolves symbolize different types of fears or sins. For Robin's, I think hers is supposed to be the fear of creatures in the woods. You know how our parents always tell us don't wander in the woods, you're gonna get eaten by a wolf. I think that's kind of what it's like. While Ruby's is... Well, I'm sure you can use your imagination to figure that one out. After you meet your wolf, you need to bring your girl to Grandma's house, which turns demented and spooky, with plenty of haunting background sounds. And then, you die. Yep, that's it. You just die. The status screen comes up and it tells you, "Success! You died!" And then, it's back to choosing another girl. This really is one of the many appeals to me in this game. You know how it's going to play out. You know that once you step off that path, that girl is going to die. But do you really want to have her die? Maybe you just want her to wander around the forest a little more, or collect more flowers, just to waste more time to avoid having her get killed. This is when you know that you can care for these characters, and their deaths will mean something to you. Unlike in the graveyard where you know absolutely nothing about the person you're playing as. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything for you because, frankly, this is something that needs to be played in order to truly enjoy it. However, I do have some words of advice. One, if you want to play this game, don't be expecting to go around killing things or solving puzzles, because you won't find it here. This is a game where you're just free to explore, walk around, find things, hence it being called a slow game. If that doesn't appeal to you, I don't think you'll like it very much. 2, this game is dark. Now, it doesn't come right out and have like blood, gore, and everything. It doesn't have any visible sexual scenes, but this game is not for children at all. All the meanings of all the wolves have to do with something. And like you've seen with Ruby's, hers was, of course, sex. This is something most definitely for older individuals who will understand the meanings of these situations. So if you want to enjoy this game, just be prepared for something brand new and overall very well done and disturbing. I don't know what else I can say about this game. The graphics are great, the music is wonderfully done, and you just feel so connected to these characters that you might not want to leave your computer screen for a while. So, why is this game not so well heard of? Well, it kinda just came out. On my birthday, actually, to be exact, March 18th. I consider it a birthday gift to myself. Also, it's made by Tale of Tales, which is an indie company that's really coming up in the world with their game titles over the past few years. It also probably really won't appeal to many of today's gamers who are expecting, fighting and all sorts of stuff like that. Games like Gears of War, God of War, Halo, things like that. Those are really well known for their violence, fun gameplay, multiplayer for Gears of War and Halo. Those games are really well known for that. I'm going to say right now, though, if you are going to complain about this game just because it does not have fighting or anything like that, and you were looking forward to it, shut up. You were given a description on what the game is about, what it's like, you know there's no fighting, don't complain about it. Okay? Good. This is a game you need to come into with an open mind and maybe an hour or two of your spare time to waste. I don't see Tale of Tales making this game any other way. The path is great. It's an excellent experience that I think everyone needs to try out at least once, and for $10, you could do a whole lot worse. I have to say, on a closing note, Tale of Tales, I commemorate you guys. I didn't like the graveyard very much, but I absolutely love the path. This is something I enjoyed from beginning to end, and I notice you guys put so much hard work into this. This is something that people need to play, and it needs to be noticed. And if this doesn't get an award, I'm going to be upset because I don't know what will then. So, you guys did so much for this, it really shows, and I want to congratulate you on a job well done. This is MMNTW26, signing off. Open your eyes, the pieces are all over. Now you should accept